Hi everybody, I'm Lynn Burkhead of MajorLeagueFishing.com with the champ, Edwin Evers, and we are actually at our inaugural World Championship event for Major League Fishing. So I guess if you could pull this off, you'd really be the world champ. You'd be the unified world champ. You'd have the Classic, you'd have the MLF World Championship, and I don't know, maybe you could figure a way to get in the Forest Wood Cup and win that too.
Just a
Triple
matter
crown.
of catching more fish than everybody else this week.
Obviously, Major League Fishing is a part of what you do for a living. You have made quite a name for yourself on the Bassmaster Elite Series. You've increased your tournament win total to 11. And more than anything, you've put a little heat on that guy named KVD over the last couple of years. It's been a fun ride, I think.
It has. It's, you know, a dream come true for me to win that Classic. I've been close before. I've led it. I've been in the top 2 or 3 going into the final day numerous times, and to finally get one done, and especially to have it right there in Tulsa with all the Oklahoma crowd, it was awesome.
You know, we're actually Major League Fishing headquartered out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and there were so many MLF folks that were watching and rooting for you on that final day. They were watching and rooting for Jason Christie, who's also one of our MLF competitors, and it really looked like going into that day he had an almost insurmountable lead. You had about the most epic 2 or 3 hour window of bass fishing I guess anybody's ever had.
I did, and it goes to show that it's never over, and you know, it's how it worked out, because I could not have had that epic 2-3 hour window had it been earlier in that event, for lots of reasons, and a lot of reasons people may not understand. They're going to understand, yeah, I had the wind to blow to make that, you know, where those fish couldn't see my bait, and the right conditions. You know, I had all that for the final day. But once that news hit the world and the internet, boats started pouring in there, and I caught one more bass up really shallow, you know, kind of away from all the boats that got in there.
Got to ask you one more Classic question before we move on to MLF. People say winning the Classic changes your life as an angler, but did winning the Classic change Double E's life?
No, I'm still the same person, still put my shoes on, same every morning, you know. Was it exciting? Was it a huge thing for me and my family? Without a doubt. What it did change, in my opinion, is just like, you know, when you go to a grocery store, you go to a gas station, you know, I've had a good career up until that point. When you win the Classic, it's a whole nother level of people recognizing you that you've never had before. So that is a change that it did have for me and my family. You know, heck, Talala put a big old, you know, billboard when you drive into town of world champion Edwin Evers. So in some regards it did change my life, but you know, as me as a person, still the same guy.
Okay, I got to ask you about, you know, General Tires. They're kind of a big deal here at this World Championship. They're a big deal for you. They're one of your major sponsors, and you filmed some pretty epic commercials over the last year. What was your favorite General Tires commercial?
Oh, actually I loved having the flipping contest. You know, when I stood on that desk and they take that picture and they shoot that commercial of me flipping through the doorway into that goldfish bowl, there's probably 50 people on set, and if I could just kind of gloat for a second, I bet Skeet I can do it on my first flip. And I did. Had to go around that, through the doorway, into a goldfish bowl that big. I'll be honest and truthful, I didn't make like the next 20, you know, but I did win $1 off Skeet. So that for me is, by all means, my favorite.
So I was going to ask you, how much was it and did he pay up?
It was $1, and you know,
did he pay up?
The turkey, I had to wait till that night at dinner. I still got that $1.
All right, let's talk about Major League Fishing. You won 2 Major League Fishing titles. You were the first to do it, and very much like your experience in winning the Classic, what is it about you and these crazy finishes?
You know, I just don't have much quit in me, and I don't know what to say. I don't have a magical answer that, hey, I do this when this happens or this, but I just, you know, I'm not ever going to quit. I don't care how far behind I am, and I fish a lot, and these Major League Fishing's open and free with an open mind.
When you won in Shreveport, Bossier City, won on Caddo Lake on that last day, I remember early in the day, saw you on this dock. I looked at the scoreboard and I'm like, wow, Edwin's making a move. And so we started searching for you, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I finally found you again.
You
were on the same dock. It was a magical dock for you.
You know, running by that dock, you know, through that first period and doing my run around, it was all by itself, and it was big, and it stood, you know, it was a long ways out in the water. Obviously provided a lot of shade on a lake that doesn't have a lot of docks, on a lake that doesn't have a lot of shade.
You're at the top of the sport. You're in your prime. You're really in that zone, that prime area of your career. What's left for you?
I'd love to win this tournament right here, World Championship. That would be a unprecedented, you know, to be on CBS for 6 weeks in a row, just the fan base, the people that we can introduce to our sport. I'd love to be that representative, you know, for our sport for that. And I'd love to win Angler of the Year and just, you know, just still have success. And, you know, there's still a lot of lakes I hadn't fished, and I'm enjoying it a lot.
Double E, Easy E, E squared, whatever you call him a champion, because he's the best in the world right now, and I'm sure for several years to come he'll be a threat in any event that he enters, including Major League Fishing inaugural World Championship being staged here in Nacogdoches. If you'd like to learn more about guys like Edwin, Kevin, and all the rest, go to MajorLeagueFishing.com.